Yes, it is.
Okay. And we're live. Welcome. Welcome back, everyone, to the Wildlands campaign. We are here with our core group of players. We have had the I guess the Scaly Squad has entirely disappeared one way or another at this point. But yes, Matt and Lindsay have bowed out at this point due to some availability issues and
yeah,
whatnot.
we're sad to see them go.
And I'm just realizing that we are sad to see them go, but maybe they'll, who knows, maybe they'll come back for, you know, something.
There's a lot going on right now. It's
Yeah.
understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And Typha's or healing crocodile will always live on in our hearts.
That's right.
So true. And some of ourselves.
Some of your what?
Cells.
Your cells? Like in your, because of your healing?
Yeah.
I
Come on, everybody.
don't want
I'm
any
not funny, just
science
maybe.
in my fantasy game.
Taladar, thank you so much for subscribing again, my friend. We got an emote thanks to Taladar's subscription. So, I don't know if that has activated the emote again. That might be what happens. But thank you very much. Very encouraging. Yes. The emote is now active again. I just tested it. Thanks, Taladar. You can now do Super Commoner Shock emote in the Twitch chat. All right, guys. Well, we have our core group, and we are going to get hardcore because last time you guys fought to delay a squadron of the Duke's agents. These tremendously tall, these 9-foot tall warriors that seem to be suits of armor filled with basically twisted ghosts that came marching down the street to capture the king, Bella's father, newly crowned the king of Westhead. Because although he may be the king now, thanks to that magical artifact, the Duke is still somewhat in power. Certainly sits in the palace across the way. Actually, let's switch to the map view. There's Bliss. We also introduced Bliss last session. A dancing fellow who is another bard that has joined the party at this point. Draco was sadly called away to go save a lady friend, perhaps. And Bliss joined the party somewhat at the behest of Bella's mom, that famous busybody, Ariella Beaumont. That is about all that happened, although there was a lot that went on in last session. At this moment, we are kind of in a well, we described in Discord and somewhat at the end of last session the aftermath of the coronation and the battle that was fought, which is that the rebellion, the Enderal Rebellion, has set up a sort of a temporary headquarters in the sewers. Now they have to constantly move around as the Duke's agents and his soldiers that are sort of pouring back into the city from the various wars they were fighting. His undead armies were fighting. They keep finding your location, the location of the forces within the city, despite them having a pretty good chunk of the populace on their side, helping to hide them. Bella, we were going to do some RP, but circumstances, I suppose, conspired against us. I started it, but we didn't ever get to finish it up. But basically, at this moment, your father is sitting on a driftwood throne in a place that you have been to before, the Lamplit Market, beneath the city. And that's the current hideout. But it's going to have to shift soon.
Right.
Now, right at this moment in time, you guys are you guys have a little downtime. So you are going to get supplies, and you are needed to help in setting up some of the rebellion effort. So you're not really being turned loose just yet, but you have some time of your own. And so this is a period of downtime for the party before you set off on your next adventure. Unless you guys feel differently. In which case, let me know.
I don't think so.
So how does downtime work? Well, there are a number of things you can do. Now we are using a sort of modified version of the downtime rules in the Xanathar's book, Xanathar's Guide to Everything. But basically, you can spend a week or more of time trying to do something, or doing something of your choice. Now, one thing I wanted to have ready for you guys were your seals of power. Because one of the things you can do during downtime in the Wildlands campaign is train your seal of power. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to write them up this week. My apologies. But I suppose if you want, you can train your seal of power that you already have, or you can declare that you will train it retroactively once I give it to you. That's fine. But you don't have to do anything during downtime. You can certainly apply yourself. You have an option of simply helping out with the efforts of Ariella Beaumont and setting up her spy network, or Elden Enderal kind of cementing his authority in the city. But there's a lot going on here. There's also these various ships in the city that you can go and interact with. There's a lot that you can do. Any questions?
My only question is, how often can I do the wrestling during the downtime? Because I want to get in on that action.
You can, basically it's a week-long thing, so you can participate in a sort of a contest. A series of contests for a week.
Are we taking turns saying what we're doing?
Sure. So, Bref, you want to spend a week wrestling. Now, keep in mind, guys, that you're, yeah, okay. So you will make an athletics check. Bref, I believe.
It's a 17. And since it's a prolonged activity, I'm guessing there's no way to rage and get advantage, because that would be... I mean, I can rage for like 6 minutes a day.
Okay. So your first opponent during the week is just really kind of a brawny fisherman, used to hauling nets from the waters of the Thunder Gulf, and you wrestle him. You wrestle him to the ground pretty well. This is actually all taking place in the pit fighting arena next to the Lamplit Market. That's part of the Lamplit Market underground. But it's good training for those who are kind of looking to move up the social ladder in the new order they hope is being established. But you wrestle him to the ground pretty well with your raw strength. What about your second match? We'll go ahead and roll a dexterity acrobatics.
Not as good.
So unfortunately, although you are quite a bit stronger than your second opponent during the week, oh, that's interesting. Okay. All right, so you have the option. So this in your second bout, you're losing. This is a squirmy, wriggly, quick tiefling wrestler who keeps twisting out of your grip and trying to put you in a headlock. You're quite a bit stronger than they are, but they seem to know all of these wrestling holds that you don't, or it just keeps they just keep slipping out of your grip. Bref. Now you have the option of replacing this check by basically raging out and cheating. You can say you are too frustrated with this guy, and you grab your weapon and make an attack. In which case, you'll make an attack roll. Totally valid. Nobody's going to arrest you. But it brings with it a higher chance of a complication arising.
So when you say cheating,
well, you're not. It's not a wrestling match anymore if you bring a weapon into it.
yeah.
But you perhaps cheating isn't. Well, perhaps cheating isn't the right word. But you can grab your weapon and make an attack roll in order to try to win this challenge. You can bring your sword to a wrestling match, but you will have a higher chance of a complication arising.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Okay.
Why not? You only wrestle once.
All right. So you can make a weapon attack instead, using any of your weapons. Oh my goodness.
And this would certainly be non-lethal. Like, I'm not trying to kill this guy.
So you grab your runic blade, and you just lay this tiefling out flat. You smack him right between the eyes with the flat of the blade, and just crash, lay them out flat. There's some cheering, but there's also some dark looks amongst the pit fighting fans. Okay, your third match in the week is against a quite large and brawny half. You feel like it's a half giant. It's actually a Goliath. And this enormous woman just is absolutely outlasting you. Yeah, you are of comparable strength, but she is bigger and heavier than you are. And the Goliath keeps almost pinning the ground. So this is a Constitution check, which gets a bonus. Roll a hit. Okay, so roll a Constitution check. Plus, you get to roll a hit die. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So this long, drawn-out, grueling wrestling match leaves both of you absolutely drained. And exhausted. But you outlast your opponent. You are still fighting fresh at the end of this boxing and wrestling match. You actually end up pinning her in the end and coming out on top. So, at the end of the week, you take the top prize after winning your 3 matches. However, because one of those you brought a weapon into the ring, you are going to also have to roll a D100. Oh, that's fun. Okay, roll a d6. Okay. So, you are, guys, Bref is presented with a, heavy gold belt, and worth 200 gold pieces.
Nice.
Well, I guess you could take either one, but you are presented with a heavy gold belt worth 200 pieces of gold. However, during the presentation, where actually the king himself kind of presents you with this belt and says, "Well done, well done." Polymon, the tiefling you knocked out with your weapon, shows up, and he's there, and he's glowering at you at the ceremony, and he says, he in a quiet moment after the roar, as the crowd is roaring, he shouts, "I will have my revenge on you." And thereafter, you have a kind of a prickly feeling on the back of your neck, as though you're being watched, followed occasionally.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
That was awesome. Hey, Akiri, what do you want to do in your downtime?
I think Akiri's gonna train her seal because I think she needs to again.
Say again?
She's gonna train her seal because I think it's about that time.
Oh, okay, cool.
And, also, if there's any like people who are coming in hurt or wounded from like helping out the resistance, she's gonna help take care of that too.
Very cool. Well, that certainly earns you a positive reputation amongst the underground court of King Enderal. But you train your seal. What is your seal again?
I forgot to pull her. I forgot to pull her character sheet up. Give me a second.
Okay.
It's seal of. What did I put it? Seal of the Frilled, and it's the spend 1 hit die as a reaction when you or an ally you can see rolls an attack or saving throw to allow them to re-roll after they did that.
So it says you have to spend a week praying, and then it's active for 1 month.
Yep.
So yes, you pray to Zhuork during that month, during that week, quite a bit, and go ahead and all right, your seal is now active. Your seal is now active. Go ahead and make a D100 roll and add your cleric level. Welcome back, Bella.
54, I think? 54?
54.
46 plus, yeah, 54.
Okay. You sense your god's presence. It grants you your powers, but there's nothing special. There's no real moment of euphoria and connection that occurs during the week. You do activate your Seal of the Frilled, however.
That's okay.
Hey, Mavra, how do you want to spend your downtime?
I would like to make beer.
Oh, yeah!
Make beer! Excellent! Yes, crafting an item. Okay, go ahead and make a... So Mavra sets up her brewing equipment. Gotten out from somewhere, maybe from the Steel Whale loans you something, the tavern in the Lamplit Market. And during your quiet moments, you are able to check up on it during the downtime. go ahead and let's see, what kind of roll is that? Do you remember?
I don't. It's been a while.
It has indeed. It has indeed. Right, it's a tools check. You have your brewer's tools, right?
Yes.
And I think it's a wisdom check. Yeah. So go ahead and make an item. It's an item, and it's an item proficiency. You have proficiency with brewer's tools, right?
Yeah.
So you get to add your proficiency to this roll as well. So it's going to be a wisdom. So it's actually on the character sheet. If you under your proficiencies, if you click on it, and then it'll ask you what ability score, what ability modifier to apply, and then you'll choose wisdom, and then it's a wisdom brewer's tools check. That's how it works in 5th edition.
I see proficiency bonus, but it's not something I can click on, and I can't click on my brewer's supplies.
No, it would be clicking on the proficiency, which is like a separate listing. But no worries. Your proficiency bonus at level 8. You guys are level 8. Oh, there we go. Whoa!
Jeremy,
Hey there.
Didn't that happen last time?
I think so, yeah.
It's just always a natural 20.
Ah.
Could you remind me of, or what are you gonna name this brew? It is going to be so potent and powerful that drinking this beer actually has a healing effect.
Rough Paradise.
Rough Paradise? Mavra's Rough Paradise beer?
By the time this campaign
That
is
does not sound like the name of a beer, honestly, Mabra. That sounds like the name of something very, very, very different.
It's been rough, okay?
All right.
Wait, by the end of this campaign, Mavra's gonna be known like all over the Wildlands for her stupid good beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
She probably has like a fan base that we just have not returned to our find, or wherever it was that she brewed that first brew.
I think it was Arkney. Maybe Taurine, but Rough Paradise. Oh, we doing it again?
No, there's something up, and okay, it went away now. Okay, it wouldn't go away. It's like, what value do you want to input?
Yeah,
like we
there was
already
something- we didn't
told
know
you
what it
what
was. We were trying to get
value.
rid of it, and it came up when we were trying to get rid of it.
Amazing.
So that second one is nothing.
All right, so you get 10 pints, which is I don't know how many gallons of beer. And drinking a pint acts like
2.5. No, sorry, no, it's never mind. Ignore me. I can't math. Don't mind me.
You make a barrel of Rough Paradise with 10 pints in it. I say it in pints because drinking a pint of this beer acts like a healing potion, as well as making you drunk. Amazing. It is, without a doubt, even better than your last batch of amazing beer. The Barrel Hearts would be proud. Go ahead and roll a D100 for me, Mavra. Thank you. Well, Rough Paradise, the local inn underground, of course, the Steel Whale, very much wants to set up a kind of a... They want to have your beer always available, and they want to hire you to just stay there and make beer for them.
No, he's our Mavra. Go get your own.
So while you're considering that, Bella, it is, what do you want to do with your downtime?
Well, I would like to spend some time training on my new axe with the assistance of my axe. He has kindly offered to train me how to use him.
Yeah. So go ahead and make a what's your intelligence modifier?
I need to check. +2.
Okay. So you need some gear. You need like a training dummy and stuff to really practice on. Are you willing to throw 25 pieces of gold at this?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So you will, so you pay that, you get set up. Bella has like a training area that she sets up. And you can add to your character sheet after some time of getting advised by the great bard in the blade. You can now play your axe like a guitar. And also hit enemies with adding your proficiency bonus to the attack. You get proficiency in it.
Great bait and switch there. That was great.
Well.
Roll a D100 for me, please.
$55.
Okay. One thing that occurred that we kind of skipped over is the holiday, Water's Way, in this month. You guys were kind of involved in other things while that was happening. But it's worth noting that a Feastie's power was strong on that day. And both Bref and Vapos would have possibly wanted to make a visit to one of the temples on that festival day. But this also was the day that you happened to buy. You bought your training dummy and other equipment for training from a merchant at the festival. Just an interesting note. Do you have time to make beer for them? Well, you used your time to make this beer during the period of downtime. So if you were to stay here and work for them, you would kind of be not participating in whatever happens next.
Okay, then no. But
Right.
I will sell them my beer.
Okay. They will buy your beer for 50 pieces of silver per pint.
Awesome.
That was 50 pieces of what per pint?
Silver.
Oh,
Silver,
yes.
okay. I was gonna say 50 pieces of gold. That'd be a lot.
Okay. Nico, Bliss. So Bliss, you have found yourself in an interesting situation. Now you are, your troop has been sort of suddenly not disbanded but co-opted by Ariella Beaumont. Pretty much all of the players have been given jobs in this new court run by two bards. They've all kind of got like new things to do. Putting on plays is really important to this new government. But Ariella, you guys having survived and worked so well together, Bliss, you felt an immediate strong connection with this party. And Ariella, and the king keep kind of trying to give you tasks that coincide with that quite well, helping these guys out and helping the play you're putting on now has the new purpose of drawing additional citizens of Westhead to the Enderal banner. So that's all going on. You are getting to know the party members and becoming fast friends with them. That said, you do have some downtime as well. What would Bliss like to be doing with his downtime?
So, well, I wanted to ask because I wanted to do a bit of an RP thing connected to mine. So I wanted to ask if maybe Vapos wants to go first before me, so that because I don't want to take too much time before he gets to do his, and then I can just go last.
Okay.
If that's okay with you, I just didn't want to take up too much time, and then Vapos has to like do his really fast or something.
It's fine with me. What do you want to do, Vapos?
Okay, so I haven't actually had a character with a seal of power yet, so I'm not really sure what training that entails or even what my seal of power would do. I'm
sorry that I haven't gotten that. I didn't have time this week.
That's all right. If you don't have an idea for it, I'm happy to.
No, I did. I mean, it's going to be good enough that you are going to want to train it. Guarantee that. I mean, the real question is, I allow the players to kind of decide what they do for their training. So what happens is, let me try to find it. What happens is that it's a story-based thing. Mm-hmm. So you achieve a certain point in your personal story. It's sort of story-based and also partially levels-based. But you achieve a certain point in your personal story arc. And you gain access to a new seal of power. And you, and what this means is you kind of, you gain this tattoo that appears on your skin, like a sigil, that you can have appear on your skin, and it can be activated through training. And it takes a week of downtime to train it up, and it lasts for 1 month.
Okay.
So it's an ability that's available to you for 1 month.
Gotcha.
After a week of training. I'm trying to find if I have a note for yours, because everybody else has at least one already. They're just going to get a new one. Yeah, I just didn't have time to write them up this week.
Okay, that's fine.
But essentially the way they all work is you can spend a hit die to kind of activate a special power that's story based and unique to your character. So they're unique abilities available to your character.
Okay. Well, yeah, that sounds interesting. I'm not really sure how to roleplay training if I don't know what it is, but
yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
So we can do it later.
Okay, that's fine.
Now that you know the rules,
hardcore parkour all around Westhead for Vapos.
Hardcore parkour.
That makes sense to me.
That is something I could be doing.
Yeah, it's definitely... it is going to be mobility based. It is going to be a mobility power.
Okay.
But we can... you can certainly do any other downtime action.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested in doing this, so I guess, I don't know the specific details, but I guess what I'll say for the training is that I basically will try to essentially I'm going to use my elemental attunement to create kind of a jet of water.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm basically going to try to keep it in front of me and basically try to do a bunch of practice running and parkour and stuff while keeping that in front of me. And so I'm trying to maintain concentration on my elemental abilities while in motion at the same time.
The mental image of this is amazing. So you're practicing your running with a fire hose.
Essentially, yes, except that I'm the fire hose. I'm trying to make sure that it's
Aren't we all?
Staying in front of me and that I'm not getting wet.
Okay. It's important to keep your jet of liquid in front of you so as not to get wet. I can tell you. Okay. You know what? You're gonna get bonus downtime because that is awesome. But I haven't managed to give you a seal of power here, so you're gonna get bonus downtime action. Is there another thing you would like to do?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that I was thinking about is the fact that, Vapos has kind of had a pretty emotionally tumultuous couple of days. And so I think he wants to burn it off. He probably wants to go wrestling as well.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say relax, which is an option.
Yeah. Vapos does plenty of meditation and stuff. I think he wants to burn some energy.
Okay, cool. Make a strength acrobatics check.
I find wrestling very relaxing.
Did you mean strength athletics?
What did I say?
Strength acrobatics.
Strength athletics, yeah.
Okay. Well, not quite as good as I hoped.
So, well, in your first match, Vapos, you're not really satisfied with your own performance, but you get lucky because although your opponent is a pretty strong dwarfen wrestler, he actually slips on a loose stone in the pit, and you are able to get around behind him and put him into a headlock before to a half Nelson before he can really respond. And so you actually win your first match. All right, now make a dexterity acrobatics.
There we go. That's better.
Well, you're much more satisfied with your second match. This is against two halflings in a trench coat, and they pretending to be one guy. So you have a quite clever way of dealing with them, and it actually end up putting the two halflings in a trench coat into separate locks, one with your legs and one with your arms, which requires you to basically do this double twist with your body, very athletic, acrobatic move in order to accomplish that, and you end up winning your second match as well.
Awesome.
All right, a Constitution check plus a hit die roll.
Okay. So in total, that's a 24.
Impressive. So, you fight a dark-skinned drow elf as your third match, and it ends up being a kind of a drawn-out, somewhat grueling affair. This lady is quite good at slipping out of your holds, and you, but not really managing to ever put you under a great amount of threat. Eventually, you turn out to be the tougher wrestler, and eventually you manage to eke out a victory, although you are both quite worn out by the end of it. Congratulations.
All right. Awesome.
All right. So this is a different week in the pit, and you are also presented with a golden belt worth 200 pieces of gold.
Awesome.
Twinsies!
Yes, this was quite an interesting experience. Perhaps you and I should get in the ring sometime, Master Breath.
That would be amazing.
You absolutely should. That would be fantastic.
Go ahead and roll a D100 for me.
Okay.
There are no particular complications that occur